Hi everyone, we're back with another video, and today I am going to take you through how I do deliveries. I'll show you how I pack the car, how I keep everything stable so it doesn't fall over and spill. I'm going to show you how I do the actual delivery, and then at the end I'm going to talk you through something really important about the delivery, about how we finish off our deliveries, and it covers us and it's saved our butt a couple of times. So let's get into it. So we'll start with the boot. Excuse the mess, but this is reality. There's kids and family stuff in here. So let me just tidy it up a bit. Should have done this off camera. So what I'll normally have in the boot is, normally I've got a couple of crates. These are just ones that a guy in town made. And I've usually got 2 of these white buckets, so I'll go get another one. And I put arrangements in these buckets so that they can't fall over. If it's a little tiny vase one, I will wrap it with a towel so that it can't fall over. So we'll go get a couple of things to add in here. I just have a stack of old towels and I just keep them, well, they're in here to mop up spills. But I also grab them for the car if I'm taking anything in a glass vase, anything that can fall over that doesn't have a steady base. So these are just food. They were old, like, I don't know if they're ice cream tubs or what, but they were just from a cafe. They were getting rid of them. Got these crates made, so you don't have to have anything fancy. And then I've got my towels. So we'll bring the flowers out. This is what we're delivering today. We've got 5 for the servo. We've got a posy jar assortment, and we've got a big arrangement to go in the car. So I'm going to start with this one first. It's getting delivered last, so I'm putting it in first. Easiest way to pack is put the things that you're delivering first at the front so you can start pulling things out, and the last of your delivery run at the back. So that big one is going last. It'll go right up the back. And I'm going to put it inside one of those white containers, which I'll show you now. So there we are. It's sitting down in there. It can shake around a bit, but it can't fall over. Something I also think about doing, but for the sake of this video, I've got it all facing forward. I can turn things so they face backwards. So everything's facing in. So when I pick it up, it's facing out for me to deliver to the person. Now, sometimes another bouquet will go in here. Sometimes that's just there to stop things moving around. Let's grab these posy jars. This is our first delivery. I do need to leave room for 5 bouquets, but what I'm actually going to do, even though it's our first delivery, it's not going to be in the car for long. I'm going up a very bumpy dirt road, so I'm going to have to secure this into the car really well. Make sure it doesn't move around, because we don't want it to break. Now I'm going to go grab the 5 bouquets for the servo. They just go in around here. I will put them in and then I'll talk to you about that. They're in. So one's in here, and then the other 4 buckets are just squished in there. I make sure that's up tight. Make sure this can't move around. It's pretty stable. You'll see why in a minute, why I need that pretty stable. Our orders all come through via Square. So we have a Square website with a Square reader, but they just pay online. So I have a list of deliveries in Square. I just check every morning what orders I've got in. So the addresses and everything are there. But if I end up with a huge amount of orders that I can't mentally keep track of what's what in the back, I'll actually label them. So I'll put, a little card that has the person's name, their address, and sometimes I'll put the address. It depends how many orders I've got and if I'm doing them. If somebody else is doing the deliveries, I'll put the address on the little tag on the flowers just so there can be no mistakes. And I'll also write 1 of 1 or 1 of 2 or 1 of 3. So that tells me or whoever else is delivering that there's something else to go with those flowers. If it says 1 of 1, it's just the flowers. If it says 1 of 2, there's something else going with those flowers, and the delivery person or myself, I need to go and check what that is, and I'll then have usually a tub full of bags with chocolates or whatever else is going out. Sometimes there's 2 arrangements going. So that's how I organize that. And in Google Maps, I don't know if you know this, but you can go into Google Maps, you can plug in an address, and then you can add a stop. You can press a little button, go add stop, type in another address, and then you can press whatever it is that you press to get everything up, and it'll show you a route. You can then start rearranging addresses to make the route more economical, so that you're not sort of backtracking around, that you're just kind of doing a loop, or to work out the quickest way possible. That's what I do if I've got a whole heap of orders, but today I've just got 3 drop-offs, so in my head I know where I'm going and I know who's getting what. So let's go do these deliveries. I do need to maintain privacy for people, so we'll see how we go. If you've been here for a while, you'll know that we live out of town and we have a little flower farm tucked in amongst the valley, and we are surrounded by beautiful hills and forest and lots of winding roads. And many of our deliveries are to people who live on properties, and it's not always as straightforward as delivering to people who live in town. You can't just park your car in their driveway and drop off a bunch of flowers. This is not their house. This is kind of a landing at the bottom, not the bottom of the hill, kind of part way up the hill. And I'm gonna have to walk the rest of it because I just gotta watch what I'm doing that I don't hit anything. I'm gonna park the car down here and walk up because there's nowhere to turn around up there. I've been here before and I've been caught out and had to reverse my way down the entire hill. And that wasn't very fun. So here we are, I'm just gonna park. I'll just pull over to the side in case they come home, and I think they're home because the gate was shut. Okay. So hers is this one. Grab it and we'll take it up. I didn't get a chance to show you anything else there because her husband met me at the bottom of the stairs, so I didn't have to walk up, so that's good. So she's obviously got my text, sent him down to pick it up, and we're all done. Now I've got to get back down this hill. Lots of people out here have electronic gates, which is really nice. So that was the hardest delivery. I'll just pull up down the road. I'll pull up outside this gate and I'll just talk you through what I do next. So now that delivery is done, what I will do, I go into Square and I copy the phone number of the person who sent the flowers, and I have a text replacement set up in my phone. So all I have to type into my phone is Condell, and all the text comes up. So, and then I'll attach a photo of those flowers and send it off to that person so they know their flowers were delivered. I'll show you how to set up that predictive text, not predictive text, what is it called? The replacement text. At the end of the video, we'll go through that. And then if they weren't home, I'll leave the flowers, take a photo of them at the doorstep or on a table or wherever I've left them, somewhere safe, take a photo of them where I've left them and text that to the person. And I've got another replacement text that's just, the shortcut is DEL, D-E-L for delivery. And then my text will come up and it'll just say, well, I can't remember what it says, but I'll put it up on the screen what it says, and I'll put that photo. The thing is, I won't ever send that delivery photo at the property to the sender. We have had a couple of instances where stalkers have sent flowers to somebody, but I just don't want to be a part of anything where I'm sending pictures of a person's property to somebody else, because you just don't know who people are. So that's why I take two separate photos. I'll take one in the studio of the finished arrangement, that goes to the sender, and then one on the property. If the person wasn't home, I will send that to them, the one of their house. Okay, next delivery. Delivered. This one was into a brew house. I don't think you can see it from here. Delivered. And now we're going to head back to Yackandandah to do the service station flowers. So in this one, it must have been her manager or someone. She wasn't there, so I don't worry. It's obviously going to get to her. He said he'll pop them out the back for her. She was on her break. So I couldn't deliver to the person, but it's been delivered to someone who's going to pass it on to the person. So I've just sent the confirmation to the sender so they can see what the flowers look like and they know that those flowers were delivered. People are loving the fact that I send a picture of the delivery back to them, because and I know for myself how many times I've ordered flowers. You have no idea in the world what's been sent, and especially if it's something for a death, like sympathy flowers, you're not going to ask the person, did you get my flowers? You're just going to kind of leave them alone a little bit. And when you do talk to the person, they may not mention it. You don't sort of want to ask, or you definitely don't want to ask them to send you a photo so you know what you sent. So anyway, let's go to Yak. Remember that time I was using Buy Me a Coffee so I could buy these little chocolates because they're really expensive, and I ate all those chocolates? Yeah, well, I gained a fair bit of weight from that, but here we are again. As you can see at the servo, I just take the flowers in, I put them in their thing. I pulled out one old bouquet, it didn't look too good anymore. I'll grab that, take it away. So that's how we do the deliveries. In terms of packing your car, you saw mine's very makeshift. You don't have to spend lots of money on big professional packing tools. They're out there, they look amazing, but they're expensive. And if you're not doing, if you're not doing 20 plus deliveries every day, is it really worth it? I've only ever had one spill in the car and it was pretty bad, but it was before I was really wedging everything in and I was just sitting buckets in the back, and that was a disaster. So I haven't had a problem with this way of doing things. Delivering to homes or businesses, you just want to make sure that if the person's not there and you're leaving something, take a photo of it so you can prove, number one, that you've delivered it. And I always send a text to the recipient just to let them know you have a flower delivery. And then also I always send a picture of the delivery taken in the studio, the picture's taken in the studio of the flowers, so the sender sees what they're receiving. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've picked up a few little tips along the way, and you've seen how we do things, and I'll see you in the next video. Just kidding, I'll show you how to set up this text replacement. So you need to go into settings and then click general and then scroll down to where it says keyboard, and this is where it's all done. So then hit that text replacement button And you can see in here I've got a whole heap already set up, but that cross right up in the top right, your phrase is what you want it to say. So I'm going to say hello world. So we'll type that in. And we might make the shortcut something really simple like HW. So every time I type HW, I'll get the option to change it to hello world. So I'll show you how that works. So HW, hello world. And there you go.